Hey everyone, so we are going to be talking about imposter syndrome and how we can navigate through that. Now, I didn't know what imposter syndrome was up until a couple of years ago. And once I read the definition, I was just kind of in awe of how accurate it depicted what I was feeling at the time. So we're going to go over that definition. We are going to pick it apart a little bit, and then we're going to talk about how to navigate through it, how to keep us moving forward and not stay stagnant in our feelings. Okay, so imposter syndrome, it's also known as imposter phenomenon or fraud syndrome, is a psychological pattern in which one doubts one's accomplishments and has a persistent internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. This phenomenon usually happens within females or minorities. Specifically, also probably more difficult, like female minorities. Now, maybe you've felt this way after you've gotten a promotion, or maybe you felt this way when you have finally been looked at as a, what's the word? Like a source of knowledge, right? So maybe in your office, you've become the person who knows everything about social media, or you've been the person who knows everything about being a vegan or skincare or anything like that. Now, this can be in school, it could be in work, it could even be in family life. We have to figure out why we're feeling this way. Now, the first thing is you have to understand that those are feelings, those aren't facts, right? So you feel like, oh, damn, like someone's gonna find me out. But it's not a fact that you don't know the information that you're sharing. So I like to think of it like the world didn't do you any favors, right? The world didn't just pop a bunch of information into your mind overnight. Nope, you studied, you read books, you read articles, you listened to podcasts. You educated yourself on whatever subject you're feeling that imposter syndrome about. There's this thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And this calculates how much you know based off of your experience and how much you think that you know. So what we found, I didn't do a study, but what they found is that it's actually linear. The less you know, the less that you've experienced, the more you think that you know. Versus when you start to learn more about a specific field, the more you realize how much you don't know. So the thing is, you're more confident when you first start out in something. It's kind of like, let's say you're picking up guitar for the first time and you just figured out how to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And you really have this like confidence, like, hey, let me show you what I could do. I know how to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And then later on, when you start picking up more songs and really, increasing that library and that knowledge base, you're going to be a little bit more humble and be like, yeah, I don't really know that much. I'm okay. It's fine. And then you start to develop imposter syndrome, which is interesting. So the thing is that if you have imposter syndrome, it's probably because you know a lot and you are very much prepared and you are the right person for whatever you're trying. So just having that fear actually means you're probably doing great. So that doesn't mean that you're not the person for the job. That doesn't mean that you're not the person who deserves a raise or a promotion or that person who deserves to start an online course. Right? Like even I had imposter syndrome just on this alone. And I had to think, well, am I the person to have a course on confidence? I started to think, are there accolades for this? I didn't even know. But I knew that the information that I had shared with others was valuable. And I knew that I had done a lot of research on working on myself and figuring out human behavior. And I said, you know what, if I'm going to help one person, then it's worth it and it's worth trying it. So I decided to not ride the train of imposter syndrome, and I decided to kind of live in this world of confidence and to just share. I think that insecurities are supposed to humble you. They're not supposed to paralyze you. So we always have to be moving the needle forward. Now, there are some benefits to imposter syndrome as well, right? So a lot of the times we're the underdogs because we're not out there saying, hey, look at me, this is the thing that I could do, that's so great, right? We're super humble about it. So we're less likely to boast. And then when we deliver our work, right, or whenever we go out into the world and do the thing that we're doing, people are actually saying, oh, damn, this is really good. Like, this is they get to get excited about what you're giving because they had lower expectations. And I'm like, that's fine. Think I'm an underdog, but you have to just continue and you have to keep on going. Don't ever take yourself out of the race because you think someone's better than you. You could be that underdog. You could be that person who nobody's really placing their bets on you. And then you finish the race and you win and you succeed. So you can think of it like that. Now, the other thing is that because we have this sense of imposter syndrome, we tend to work harder at what we actually do because we always have it in the back of our mind that someone's going to be questioning us or someone's going to be trying to like find us out. So we have to know all the ins and outs of everything. So we're better researchers. We're much better prepared than anyone else because we're on our toes. So that's a strength within the imposter syndrome. I always think of one of the best gifts that I ever gave to myself is knowing that I don't know everything. And honestly, that's the best gift that you can give to yourself too. That personally keeps me hungry to know more. It's the continuing education that allows us to grow. So don't take yourself out of the race. Keep going forward. Go for that promotion. Go for the things that you want in life because I promise you, you deserve them. So you really have to change your narrative. Instead of saying, I don't think that I can, you need to start saying, I could do it. Or you need to take note of the accreditations that you actually have, right? Start listing out the things and the reasons why you are put on this earth to do that thing that you're trying to do, right? So if you're trying to get a raise, if you're trying to sign up for a TV show, if you're trying to be a cover model, whatever it is that you're trying to do, if you're trying to open up a hair salon, that's your own. If you're trying to start your own business, start listing out the very reasons why you deserve that. There's no point of looking at the negatives. That's not going to help anyone. It's definitely not going to help you, right? So put that aside and lean in to your fears. Just gain that confidence and keep going forward. So imposter syndrome is a thing that we suffer with, but we can see the benefit behind it and we can actually use that as a strength. So next time you ever question yourself and your abilities and what you can do, you need to stop that narrative right there. And 1, tell yourself life didn't do me any favors. 2, understand that Dunning-Kruger effect is real. And the reason why you're feeling imposter syndrome is because you know a lot. So you deserve whatever you're going for. And 3, which is the first one that we spoke about, is use that as a selling point for under promise, over deliver. Let them think that you're the underdog, but still show up to the party, still show up to the game, still show up to the race, and then make sure that they see you when you're passing them by. Okay, so I hope this helps. I hope that you understand that you're going to have to change your narrative every time that you question your own abilities. It's okay to know that you're in a learning place and you're in a place of growth and you're continuing to get there, but you need to enjoy the place that you're at right now and know that you deserve literally anything that you want in this life. So I will see you in the next video.